I want to talk about what I think is my favorite singular theme for just a second, then answer your questions. I am frankly tired, you must be too, of hearing people run for office talking about jobs in the same old way and economic development in the same old way. And that's all solution driven. We've got to have jobs, of course we do. So how are we going to get them? Let's consider this. How about if we identify the problem? Why don't we have the employment levels we want now? If we identify the problem, then we can work on solutions. Here's what I think about employment problems. I think, number one, each time we allow one more Wall Street merger to happen, and we reduce the number of competitors in our economy by one or two, or the number of players in that merger, we shrink the economy in two ways. Since competition shrinks, price activity changes. Grocers sure know that. The second way it happens is that the CEO of that new organization, in order to prove his or her strength, kind of picks up the dish rag that represents what they can wring out of the right side of their operating statement where they're accounting for their expenses, and that's labor. And so you wring out more jobs and we lose some more employment, or we send it overseas. And we actually have incentives, of course, in our Internal Revenue Code to outsource jobs. That's a favorite theme of mine. There isn't enough competition. And there isn't enough competition because we have allowed that kind of corporate activity to occur to a dangerous level. What do I mean by a dangerous level? 5 banks have 65% of all of the money of all of the people and all of the corporations and companies, large and small, and all of the governments, local, state, and federal, in the United States. 5 banks, 65%. Those are FDIC, published on their website. Go home and look them up tonight on the FDIC website numbers. I've asked today twice, and I've asked lots of times before in front of groups, if that makes you feel safer about your country, tell me. Nobody feels safer about it. Those banks are bigger than they were in 2008. One of them lost $2 billion in one trade last year. What if we were to have just a rule that says no banks bigger than 5% of all of the money, of all of the people and companies and governments in the United States? That would be huge. And that alone, just breaking them up that much, would make smaller loans, more competitors, a different approach in banking, and the financial system, the employment system, starts with money, and money is found in banks. So that's a logical place to start.